The M2010 rifle sits on the table, dust covering everything. A small woman from the logistics team quietly wipes each metal surface, her eyes distant and focused. A SEAL laughs. "Let me guess. You used to shoot paper targets at the range? But then?" The commander steps forward, places a thick file on the table, his voice hoarse. "She once took down a target at 2,940 meters. The room falls completely silent. Meet Elena Ward, 32 years old, long brown hair, small frame, works logistics for the SEAL unit. Elena's daily routine: inventory ammunition, clean old weapons, organize supply storage, file paperwork. To the SEALs, she's just support. Ward handles paperwork. The battlefield isn't her place. Don't touch the guns. Even cleaning them, you'll scratch something. Some appreciate her dedication, but no one thinks she belongs in combat. One afternoon, Elena quietly dusts off an old M2010 rifle in the weapons storage. A few SEALs walk by and laugh. What does logistics know about sniper rifles? You used to shoot paper targets at the range, right? Elena stays silent, continues cleaning the barrel, her hands moving slowly, precisely, like touching something familiar. Real human detail. A young SEAL later said, "I noticed she didn't react to the teasing, but her eyes looking through that empty scope were different, like some memory was coming back." The truth was, Elena had reasons for taking this quiet job. After what happened in Helmand province, after that impossible shot that saved an entire squad, she wanted to disappear from the spotlight. She'd requested transfer to logistics. No more combat missions, no more life-or-death decisions, just quiet work, cleaning weapons, filing reports, staying invisible. But you can't hide from who you really are forever. Elena had grown up on a ranch in Wyoming. Her father taught her to shoot when she was 7. By 15, she could hit targets at distances that made grown men shake their heads in disbelief. Military recruiters found her at a shooting competition. She was 19, hitting targets other people couldn't even see through their scopes. They fast-tracked her into special operations, Kraken Unit, the military's most elite sniper program. For 3 years, Elena Ward was a ghost, moving through enemy territory, taking impossible shots, saving lives from distances measured in miles. Until that day in Afghanistan, the shot that broke records and broke something inside her. 2,940 meters, nearly 2 miles away. A single bullet that ended an ambush and saved 12 American soldiers, the longest confirmed kill in military history. But all Elena could think about was how young the enemy soldier looked through her scope. Someone's son, someone's brother. That night, she submitted her transfer request. From elite sniper to logistics clerk, from saving lives at impossible distances to organizing supply closets. Now, watching her clean that M2010 rifle, the SEALs had no idea they were looking at a living legend. Elena preferred it that way. She'd had enough of being a hero. She just wanted to serve quietly, keep the weapons clean, make sure the real fighters had what they needed. But secrets have a way of surfacing when you least expect them. During the teasing, a new recruit accidentally opens an old file folder on the commander's desk. A yellowed paper, sand still stuck to the corners, clearly marked, "Confirmed kill, 2,940 meters. Name, Elena Ward." The entire group freezes. A SEAL gasps, "No way! Ward? Her?" The commander steps over, takes the file, his voice rough. "That's right. Mission in Helmand. That shot saved the entire team." The people who were just laughing suddenly go silent. Elena sets down the M2010, wipes her hands on her pants, quietly says, "Records don't matter. What matters is how many people made it home." No one dares look her in the eye. Real human detail. A veteran SEAL remembers, "I was in Helmand." That shot ended the entire ambush. The whole unit survived because of someone who now just sits cleaning rifles in storage. The file told the whole story. Operation Desert Viper. 12-man reconnaissance team pinned down in a valley. Enemy snipers on the ridgeline, picking them off one by one. No air support available. No artillery in range. No way out. Elena Ward was positioned on a mountain peak, nearly 3 miles away. Wind speed, 15 miles per hour. Temperature, 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Target, enemy sniper barely visible even through the most powerful scope. The math was impossible. The distance was beyond anything attempted before. The conditions were nightmare scenarios for precision shooting. But 12 American soldiers were dying in that valley. Elena made the calculations, adjusted for wind drift, compensated for bullet drop over nearly 2 miles of flight time. One shot, one opportunity. The bullet traveled for over 7 seconds before impact. Direct hit. Enemy sniper eliminated. The ambush collapsed. 12 soldiers walked out of that valley alive. But Elena never talked about it, never celebrated it, never even mentioned it in conversations. She'd seen the face of the man she killed through her scope. Young, maybe 20 years old, wearing a wedding ring. That image haunted her dreams. So she buried the record, requested the transfer, became invisible. "I don't want to be known for taking lives," she told the commander that day. "I want to be known for supporting the people who protect lives." For 2 years, Elena Ward had successfully hidden in plain sight, cleaning weapons she'd once used to set records, filing paperwork for missions she was overqualified to plan, organizing supplies for soldiers who didn't know they were working alongside a legend. But now, with that file open on the table, her secret was exposed. The SEALs stared at her with new eyes. Not the quiet logistics clerk, but the woman who held the longest confirmed kill in military history. Elena closed the file gently. "The past is the past," she said quietly. "I'm just here to make sure your equipment works when you need it." But everyone in that room knew. They were looking at someone extraordinary. Someone who'd chosen anonymity over fame, service over recognition, quiet support over battlefield glory. The question now was, would they let her keep hiding? Or would they finally see Elena Ward for who she really was? Word spreads throughout the camp. Elena Ward isn't just logistics personnel. Classified documents confirm she was in Kraken Unit, trained as an elite sniper. Many remain skeptical until the shooting practice session at the outdoor range. A few young SEALs plead, "Ward, can you take one shot for us?" Elena hesitates, then finally nods. She steps forward, adjusts her stance. Eye to the scope. The rifle fires. The bullet pierces dead center of the 1,500-meter target. The entire range falls silent. The commander steps forward, his voice emphasizing every word. "Never forget. This is the woman who set the 2,940-meter record. The truth cannot be denied anymore. People who once saw her as paperwork logistics now look with different eyes. But Elena doesn't seek the spotlight. She returns to the weapons storage, continues cleaning guns and filing reports like every other day. The transformation in how people treated her was immediate and dramatic. SEALs who used to ignore her now stopped to ask technical questions about their weapons. "Ward, What's the optimal barrel temperature for sustained fire? How do you compensate for crosswind at extreme distance? Can you check the scope calibration on my rifle? Elena answered every question patiently, professionally, but always redirected conversation away from her past achievements. Focus on your fundamentals, she'd say. Breathing, trigger control, follow through. That's what keeps you alive. A young sniper approached her after the range demonstration. Ma'am, I've been trying to improve my long-distance accuracy. Could you, maybe, give me some tips? Elena studied his stance. Your grip is too tight. Relax your support hand. The rifle should rest naturally, not be forced into position. She spent 20 minutes with him, adjusting his technique, sharing insights from years of elite training. His groupings improved immediately. How did you know that? He asked in amazement. Elena just smiled. Experience teaches you things books can't. But she never mentioned the hundreds of hours of training, the thousands of rounds fired in practice, the missions where her skills meant the difference between life and death for American soldiers. Word reached higher command levels. Officers who'd heard rumors about the Helmand record started asking questions. A colonel visited the base specifically to meet her. Ward, I've read your file. Impressive work in Afghanistan. Have you considered returning to active sniper operations? We could use someone with your expertise? Elena's response was immediate and firm. Sir, with respect, I'm exactly where I want to be. These soldiers need their equipment maintained properly. That's how I serve now, the colonel pressed. But your skills, they're being wasted in logistics. Elena looked him directly in the eye. Sir, no skill is wasted when it serves the mission. My job now is making sure these warriors have reliable equipment. That's just as important as pulling triggers. After he left, the commander approached Elena privately. You could have any assignment you want, Ward. Special Operations Command would welcome you back with open arms. Elena continued organizing ammunition inventory. Commander, I made my choice 2 years ago. I'm not changing it now. But why? He pressed. You're one of the best snipers in military history. Elena paused her work. Because, sir, being the best at killing doesn't make you the best at living with yourself. She looked out the window at young soldiers training on the range. These kids, they need someone who understands their equipment, who can make sure their weapons won't fail them when it matters. That's how I protect people now. The commander nodded slowly. Never forget, Ward. What you did in Helmand, what you're doing now, both matter. Elena returned to her inventory sheets. Thank you, sir, but I prefer to be remembered for what I'm doing, not what I did. That evening, as Elena locked up the weapon storage, she found a note on her desk. Thank you for showing us that real strength isn't about glory. It's about service. The team. She folded the note carefully and put it in her pocket. Some battles are won with bullets. Others are won with quiet dedication. Elena Ward had learned to fight both kinds. The official report states, Elena Ward, logistics. Not a single line mentions sniper. But in the hearts of those who know, she is living proof of hidden greatness. During a memorial service for fallen comrades, the commander stands before a wall engraved with names, his voice breaking. There are people who don't appear in reports, but without them, we wouldn't be standing here today. He doesn't say her name, but every eye turns to Elena, standing in the back row, quietly holding supply files. After the ceremony, a young SEAL approaches, whispers softly, "Never forget." Elena just nods, smiles gently. her eyes focusing on her brother's name on the wall, also a SEAL who fell in combat. The truth about why Elena chose logistics became clearer over time. Her brother Marcus had been in that valley during the Helmand ambush, one of the 12 soldiers her impossible shot had saved. But 6 months later, Marcus died in another mission, a mission Elena hadn't been there to support. "Maybe if I'd been there," she told the commander during a rare moment of vulnerability. "Maybe if I'd been watching over him." "Ward, you can't protect everyone from every danger," the commander had replied. "No, sir," Elena said quietly, "but I can make sure their equipment never fails them. I can make sure every rifle is perfect, every scope is calibrated, every bullet is accounted for." That became her mission, her way of honoring Marcus and every fallen soldier. Every weapon she cleaned was a promise. Every inventory sheet she filed was a commitment. Every scope she calibrated was insurance that some other sister wouldn't lose her brother to equipment failure. The SEALs gradually understood this deeper purpose. They stopped asking her to return to combat operations. Instead, they brought her their weapons with new respect. "Ward, can you check this rifle before my deployment? My scope seems off. Can you take a look? I want you to personally inspect my equipment before I ship out." Elena became their silent guardian, not protecting them with bullets from impossible distances, but protecting them with meticulous care for every piece of equipment they carried. One evening, a SEAL found her still working late in the armory. "Ward, you should go get some rest." Elena looked up from calibrating a scope. "When this scope is perfect, someone comes home to their family. I'll rest when it's perfect." He watched her work with surgical precision. "Never forget, Ward. What you do here, it matters just as much." Elena smiled without looking up. "That's all I want, to matter in the right way. Some people are only seen through their small, quiet roles, but when secrets are revealed, we discover their strength far exceeds our imagination." Elena Ward, quiet logistics personnel, once held the record for a 2,940-meter shot. But instead of seeking glory, she chose to become the person behind the scenes, keeping everything running smoothly. The commander said, "Never forget. If you've ever witnessed someone quietly doing something extraordinary, leave a dot in the comments. And if you believe in stories that touch the heart, subscribe to SN Quiet Stories channel. We tell the stories no one else tells, so that quiet heroes are never forgotten. Some heroes save lives with impossible shots from impossible distances. Others save lives by making sure every weapon works perfectly when it's needed most. Both kinds of heroism matter. Both deserve to be remembered. Never forget,